What's up? It's your boy Carcino once again. Let's jump right into it. This one was kind of cut and dry a little bit. It was like no in between stuff really going on. Let me see. It was a little, but not a lot. But this is the truth between the beef between Ice Cube and Common. Now, when they first started it off, like doing the shows, Common was at this time so unknown, but had one of the hottest records out, and he had one of the hottest singles. Like, and then he had this one that would even surpass that with Resurrection. But I Used to Love Her was a rapper's song. Like, man, that's creative. He talked like hip hop was his woman. You know, like, that was awesome. So people used to, I used to love her, So, I Used to Love Her used to get played more by rappers than the fans, which was very unusual at that time. That this was other rappers' song. Like, they had the CD, or they had the tape. Like, yeah, I like this dude. Yeah, I like that song he made. I love, he ain't had no spins on the radio. He didn't have any of that stuff. But what he had was the rapper's mind. So rappers knew who Common Sense was. Even if you didn't know any other songs he made, that was his second album. You knew one thing before that Common Sense had a hit. And he could rap. So Ice Cube album really just flopped and didn't do what it was supposed to do. And he's thinking, I need an angle. I gotta get back in this game and make some noise. I gotta do something to keep my name out there, because everybody is like, oh, well, this Tupac is the West Coast and he running everything. So what does he do? He creates the West Side Connection. After he see how risky Hit 'Em Up was and how successful it was, and how it united the West Coast and everybody, yeah, he's like, that's what I should do. West Side Connection. I get with Dub, and we just throw up the W and rep the West. And they basically just continuing and rolling off Hit 'Em Up. And they just finding people that they could diss. Put them on record. So, they took Common Sense song. When Common said on the song, I Used to Love Her, I didn't even care when she went to go play with the boys in the hood. So now he's like, oh, he dissing the West Coast. Oh, he's saying she came out to the West and he didn't like it because if she went West Coast. Oh, okay, so now we got to spank him some. So they gonna make a diss song based off that line called the West Side Slaughterhouse. What he was like, I used to love her, mad cause we upped her, stupid ass bitch with no common sense. So once he started dropping that, then Mac 10 talking about some, yeah, we all dealing with snows, I'm pushing 6 foes. I'm like, what in the world? It was a setup for them to get knocked out. Because one, they can't hold a torch to Common rhyming. So this was an easy one for him. But Ice Cube name holds value over the industry at the time. Everybody in the industry know who Ice Cube is. Anybody know who Common is at the time? No, but this is a good stage for him. So Common really is a battle rapper for those who really didn't know. He's an MC. So when they get back to Chicago, like, man, they dissed you and they got a video dissing Common. And I'm like, man, they got a music video dissing Common. That's big. I was saying that like, that's big. I wonder if Common, and the whole thing in the city is people were like, Common ain't gonna respond to that. He's hip hop. He ain't gonna respond to Ice Cube. Damn, he's not gonna do that. I'm telling people, why not? We down at Tony Sports. And I'm like, why wouldn't he? And I'm like, y'all know about it on the north side. The south side could care less. And he from the south side. But they can care less. All they want to know is Tupac taking his shirt off. And then you got the other side, the west side. They really didn't care. So only people that really cared though was people who was in the hip hop. Those who really cared. Then all of a sudden, Common Lacing. The track came out of nowhere. Like before, I think DJ Ferris had it first. I'm assuming. Because I think that's where I got Ferris's mixtape at Coops. Coops Underground. So I went to Coops Underground, got it before, like, as soon as it was hitting the press, like the mixtape. Like, let me buy it from Coops. Boom. Copped it from Coops Underground. Came back, played it. The Bitchin' You was one of the best diss songs of all time. Still is. Where he just shined a light on Ice Cube and people get to see him for what he really was. And then you wipe everything away and you think about it. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Oh, man. Dude is a big hypocrite. And then, I mean, when you say slinging bean pies and drinking St. Ives in the same sentence, as much as I love Steady Mobbing, I said, yeah, that he promoting drinking. And he talking about bean pies and promoting St. Ives. That didn't make no sense. But it's funny. Still love Steady Mobbing, by the way. But it was funny. Then he talked about Whack 10, Mac 10, and Dub C, and the whole Mad Circle clique they was in. It was just funny to listen to that song. So once that got enough juice, people were laughing. They weren't going, ooh, and like he dissed you, Q. Ooh, he went hard. He just made fun of them. That's what made the Bitchin' You a classic diss record, because it was funny. It was like, you weren't like, ooh, man. People were laughing at them. They weren't, like, we don't even take you serious here. Like, you guys are a joke. So when they came up here and they was going to do the show, they had to tour, we going to come to Chicago, we going to do the comment ain't saying, like, don't come into the city. You come in here, we waiting on you. You know, it wasn't that at all. So they went to like way out on the north side, did the show. They gonna do just a comment on the microphone. Like, yeah, and common sense. In Chicago, I love y'all, but y'all got a bitch ass nigga. Then that's what the city was like, man, what are you talking about? Boo! So, like 2 weeks later, Common had a show. Common comes out. He did I Used to Love Her, and right at the part when it says, I didn't care when she played with the boys in the hood, it cut off, and then he went a cappella with it. I said I didn't care when she played with the boys in the hood. I said, fuck you, Ice Cube. Man, and then everybody was chanting. He goes right into the Bitchin' You song. And it was classic. Then he did some songs from Can I Borrow a Dollar. That was a great That was a great concert. Actually, Ghostface was the headliner. And some Chicago MCs got a chance to go up there and rock. Man, so it was a good night. Matter of fact, I'm just thinking about that performance. And then after that, who banging? Like, that's supposed to have been the response. He's like, I'm bombing on common sense. Chicago is mine, so nigga hit the fence. I'm like, turn this shit off. This is so terrible. And I'm like, it don't even need to be played. So after that, it was supposed to get squashed by Marathon Farrakhan, but it was never a beef anyway. It just played on out because it was nothing really to report. Like Common didn't even respond to Who Bang, and there was no need. It was like, that's just dumb. Everything that dude just said in that line didn't make one bit of sense. Not one iota. So that's that. Follow the playlist once again. Somebody was like, why don't you go ahead and like put the playlist like in the thing, and so people will know to click on the playlist. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I ain't got time. As you can tell, my audio ain't the greatest. I just remember a lot of hip hop stories. And a lot of them is on the West Coast. And somebody else say, what are some of the things that we're going to be hearing, like some of the stories? You're going to be hearing not just beef stories. You're going to be hearing other stories and things that happen. Like somebody getting a snot slapped out of them. You're going to hear about that. You're going to hear about the freestyle battle that stopped an album from coming out and changing the direction of a rapper and putting doubt in their minds about their own rap ability from a cipher. Woo! Stay tuned.